Witwa nde?
¿Cómo te llamas?
Yuri. Sarin Sofía.
Limelek Jessy.
Nitwa Medunata.
Ángel.
Endri Pineda.
Nitwa Juxenge Mirante. Tatiana. Nitwa Manzcapo. Pai Santiago Casillas Cortés.
Lady Juliana Pelmosquera.
Andrés Felipe Cruz Rodríguez.
Nitwa Itisa Cristela.
Cristian Niño Vargas. Iván Felipe Osorio Cortés.
Benichesco.
Ángela Sofía Largos Etina.
Domo Junajos.
Marlon. Bianca.
Ushaka Norbert Mongo.
Serika Miguel Mekukino. Lisa Dayana Mekukino.
Amazina yanjye ni Kasebo Kevin.
Hola, mi nombre es Sara Bravo Méndez. Mi nombre es Ana Paula. Tengo 9 años.
Cuando grande, ¿qué quieres hacer?
Policía.
Urumva ushaka kuzaba iki? Futbolista.
La científica profesional. Veterinaria.
Akaba nzaba nifuza kuzaba umukinnyi.
Rapero.
Z'ubudogiteri.
Profesora.
Uko. Futbolista.
Umupolisi. Veteri.
Yo, soldado. Princesa. Cantante.
Sí, policía.
Médico.
Inzozi zanjye ni kuzaba pasiteri.
Z'ubudogiteri. Ingeniera.
Pilot na pasiteri.
Doctor.
Ndashaka kuba umucuruzi.
Cantante. Futbolista profesional.
Nkaba nkunda gukina basket kandi nkaba numva nzaba umukinnyi wa basket.
Quiero ser doctora.
¿Por qué?
Porque le ayudo a los enfermos.
Welcome back. Thank you guys.
I love Ana Paula. What do you want to be when you grow up?
Such a big question, right? And
What about you? What do you want to be when you grow up?
I wanted to be an architect.
You did?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And how did that go?
God changed it up a little bit. He threw a curveball.
Really?
I thought it was going to be one thing, and then he brought something else into my life.
That's one of the beautiful things about this type of programs. We're enabling these children to dream, to think about the idea of they can become what they think of. And so being provided with an opportunity, with resources, with the guidance, the belief, right? Just everything that will build in their minds that understanding they're capable of. They don't, regardless of their situation, they are allowed to dream. That's the best part of this whole thing, just to see them grow in the programs and start finding their paths, right? Their skills and their passions and soon their purpose, right?
So many people don't get the opportunity to explore that. And through the different programs that we're going to share with you today that we integrate to the after-school system program, they get to explore different things, different skills, and they get to talk to different people and have mentors there to guide them through that as they go through the program over the years.
Well, this is very dear to me. When I moved to the United States, that was the main reason why I moved to the States. My dad, when I was 15 years old, he sat me down in the kitchen and he said, "Son, I don't have the resources to put you through school." And I was heartbroken at that point because I knew what I wanted to be. And so I said, you know what, I am not going to stay. If I can dream of becoming what I want to, at least have the opportunity. And so when I moved here to New Hampshire and I saw everything that I was able to accomplish just by the opportunity, it just, that's why this program is so dear to me, because we are allowing kids, we are providing children that dream, those thoughts, that the resources to continue dreaming of becoming what they want to be.
And there's an awesome example right at Forma Vita, a gentleman, Danny. And Danny is a leader at Forma Vita, but he didn't start that way. Years ago, he was a product of being a sponsored child through a program, and that experience stuck with him. And he eventually came to be a volunteer along with his sister at Forma Vita with Lucy. And now they're not only leading that center, but they're helping to be a collaborator with our organization, and he helps lead communications to send messages back and forth to the children. So he's not only a product of it, but now he's enabling more children to have that exact same experience.
It's so beautiful to see all of those leaders being byproduct of this program. Every single one that works with the children, with the teenagers, they have been through the program, and so now they're the new spiritual leaders. And the main goal of this hands-on development program is for each one of those kids to grow up knowing that the teacher, the architect, the soccer player, the police officer, the firefighter, they're all going to have a purpose. They're all going to live a life of purpose, and knowing that they can also help others to become what they want. So
you're providing opportunity that they wouldn't normally have without this child center there, without their support system there after school to go to and be built, to be being poured into every single day with these teachers. If they didn't have that, their likelihood of having that opportunity just wouldn't be there.
Right, you live with a mentality of poverty, right? Because that's all you know. And if you grow up only knowing that, guess what? You're not going to have other examples. You're going to have at least that idea that you can do what you put your mind to.
So let's share with people like a day in the life. A child leaves school and they come to the child center. What does that day look like?
So as soon as they get out, they come straight to the community center, and the first thing they do is they will sit and have a hot meal. So, I mean, think about it. I don't know about you, but when I got out of school, every time I got out of school, I was starving. I mean, that's kind of like half of the time for me. But anyway, and so they have their meals all together, and right away after that, they break out to their respective classrooms.
We touch on the meals for a second, though, because when we were down there for the mission trip, we got to also be a part of that time. So once they get to the school, we're all gearing up for the day, and they arrive at the center at the same time every day.
Riot.
It's so much fun to see them come in. But then when they have their meals, we got to watch them serve each other. They'd go up to the line, bring the food back to the table for their friends. And they would even sit and pray together and then eat and then clean up together. So there's these values being instilled in every different program that is there, including the food.
Transformational values. What we're creating is a good values culture. You know, children that are going to grow up to want to change their settings, their families, their communities in general. So once they finish with their meals, they go into the classrooms, and they each have a teacher, right, for second, third graders, fourth, and so on. And the first thing they start doing is their homework. So each center communicates with the school. So everything they're learning at school, we are familiar with. And what they need to reinforce, or what they need to get better when it comes to the academics, right? So we keep track of their grades and how they're doing in school. So we'll provide also kind of like that reinforcement.
Yeah, so if they're struggling in math, they're struggling in writing or English or something, they have that specific opportunity to learn, get tutoring on that subject, and the leadership at Forma Vita and our child centers are connected very well, and they're collaborating with the local school.
One of the things I wanted to share also during the pandemic, this communities, they don't have access to internet or computer, and if you were studying remotely, right, if the school was providing you with certain resources, and then you got to go home and do the work, and you didn't have a way to access this because, again, just the situation in general. What we did at the centers is we provided access, just a fewer number of children, but all through the day. So each teacher was dedicating an hour or two with each group. So 4 or 5 kids per teacher, separated in safety for COVID, and it allows them to still get their homework, to still get this just everything, all the work for school, because otherwise all these children would have just stayed behind because they wouldn't been able to pass their grade.
And they have programs all throughout the year too. So I know there's music, there's crafts, there's games on the outside. We want to make sure there's always activities for them during the day too. But then annually they have different things integrated
to find your talents, right? Because we don't know what we don't know, right? We grow up thinking here's what we like to do, and up until you're going to your kindergarten or first grade, you're allowed to explore all these different things, and then you get to this system that tells you what to do and how to do it, and just it limits that exploring what you're really good at or what you're passionate about. And so through these programs, they are able to access arts and crafts and music and dancing and all kinds of different activities until you start finding your niche. You start finding what you were created for.
And they just had a fun celebration right in Forma Vida. Instead of doing a Halloween theme, they did something that was a little different with Superman, right?
So they do theater plays, they do all kinds of different things. So every time they're being guided just to explore those different type of activities. One of the things too is for the youth and the teenagers of the region, of the community. We were able to create this program for a bakery. So they learn the arts of just baking bread, which I don't know if you knew this, but in Colombia, that's huge. In every corner in a neighborhood, you'll find a bakery. Is that thing like every morning when you get up, you go to the store, you buy fresh baked bread, and that's what you have for breakfast, right? And in those communities, their homes are not equipped like here. Like you see here, you have an oven and you have it's different. So they don't have the opportunity to learn this type of things, and so it provides them another avenue to right. They get out of high school and perhaps they don't have the means to go to college, but at least they have a trick. They know something, they can go and find a job. So
let's talk about a new program that we're adding to what we do, and
one of my favorites.
Yeah, I mean, not that our shirts are giving it away. You guys know Tom Brady, right? A big football player and stuff, right?
Yeah, sure, buddy.
Isn't it?
You still have to call it football, right?
Isn't it football? No.
Yeah. So why don't we just check this out?
So check out a quick clip, and then we'll get back to you guys in a minute here.
What do you dream of becoming when you were a child?
Mi nombre es Luis David, tengo 8 años, me gusta jugar fútbol y mi deporte es fútbol.
We all have things that we want to accomplish. Playing soccer is a dream for many children around the world. It instills discipline, teamwork. It keeps them active. It changes their lives.
Cuando sea grande quiero ser un futbolista.
¿Qué te gustaría hacer cuando seas grande?
Futbolista.
For many children living in challenging areas, this is just not an option. But you can give a child a chance to overcome obstacles, to turn them into opportunities. You can give them hope to reach their dreams.
¿Qué quieres hacer cuando seas grande?
Futbolista profesional.
You can bring soccer camps to them, turn dreams into reality, and watch change happen.
¿Y por qué vienes a la fundación?
A jugar fútbol con mis amigos.
Who doesn't give a dream everything he's got? Join us. Become a change maker.
Soccer, football. I think 9 out of 10 kids in every country around the world dream to be a soccer player. At least I did when I was a kid. I just didn't get the skills for it. But hey, that's another story. But so with this program now, this year we're actually launching. It's funny, the day we were going to launch the soccer program about a couple of days after COVID hit, and so we couldn't launch it. But as part of the sponsorship, we want to provide the children with a soccer school, where they will receive their uniforms, all the equipment, and they will have a coach. So we have an organization we are partnering with in Colombia, and all they do is that soccer school. So we'll bring to each one of our centers, Colombia, Rwanda, Guatemala. That is the goal. So each center, they'll have the opportunity. I mean, think about it. With no resources, it's not easy for you to access something as simple as learning how to play sport, right?
Right. For here, we take it for granted because there's recreational leagues, or our parents can, pay a little bit of money and getting us into a league. But there, if you're trying to just put food on the table and run your household, those extra means to have an extracurricular like soccer doesn't usually make its way into your house. So to have this program to where, during the week, but then on a Saturday where they normally would be in these, especially in the urban areas where we have different partners, they would normally be on the streets, right? And they're influenced and they're exposed to, could be drugs, could be, sex, and those different things that as a teenager or even younger, having another opportunity to pull them out of that into a safe environment where they can be amongst peers and learn something positive.
Learn teamwork and how to make something out of that opportunity, right? If you hear the big stories of big sports figures around the world, where do they come from? They come from those situations, those scenarios where scarcity was just the note of the day. So that's one of the big ones we want to share, and want to invite you today just to go to our page, missionlifechange.org, and just check around, check the kids. We have a ton of kids ready to be sponsors. $39 per month. $39 per month. And they receive their meals, they get their tutoring, they get all the spiritual guidance and arts and crafts and dancing and singing, and now some soccer.
And shout out to Len. Congratulations to Len, who just sponsored his child. What a wonderful opportunity for you, and so excited for you to start on this journey.
Thank you so much. And right away, when you sponsor a child, you start seeing their videos, and we start connecting each other, and so it's just a wonderful experience. So I hope to see you guys in our next segment.
So at 5 o'clock, we're going to have some fun. We have 2 guests coming in to replace Angel and I for that segment. It'll be a good break for you guys. No, I'm just kidding. But it'll be really fun. So we have Susan, who's a leader with Mission Life, and we have Alyssa, who's going to share her story with her daughter, Evelyn. You guys don't want to miss it. It's at 5 o'clock. Here's a quick snippet of who Alyssa is and her story.
The women there, the way that they hug you, it's so powerful and so genuine. When we went to that Child Hope Center, and how awesome the people were, and how the women and the moms and the struggle that they went through. As much as I'm hoping to change somebody's life by doing Mission Life, I think it's really changed my life too.